Consider this. You don't know what you don't know. Just wanted to share my thoughts on two phrases that I heard this week. And I've spoken about one before many times, but I just heard it again, so I feel the need to say this again. The first phrase is, I've tried everything, reinforcement doesn't work. Everyone has reinforcers, you just haven't found it yet. But reinforcement works. It is literally why we do everything that we do, because there's a payoff for us and we're reinforced for the behaviors that we engage in on a day-to-day basis. Something else to try also, if you don't think that reinforcement works, which it does, but if you don't think it works, what does your learner prefer to do when they're by themselves or you give them some free time? What are the things that they like to do? If you have a learner that likes to spin everything in sight, find some spin toys, find some more things they can spin. Maybe they want to spin a hula hoop. There's tons of things you can spin. Maybe you have a learner that just loves to hang out with you and asks you tons and tons of questions. Maybe a reinforcer could be that that learner gets to ask you like 5 minutes of questions with no interruptions. Especially for learners who are verbal, you can ask them things. You can ask them, if you could hang out with anybody in this school, who would you want to hang out with? It might not be someone in the classroom. It might not be a teacher in the classroom. If you could do anything right now, what would you do? If you could go anywhere right now, what would you go? You can interview students who are verbal. And then for learners who have limited language, take a look at what they're doing when they're by themselves. There's no demands being placed on them except to, have some free time by themselves. So take a look at what are they doing? What are they choosing to do? I guarantee you will find something that's reinforcing. The other phrase that I heard this week is, I've tried everything I've been taught. The reason I don't like this phrase is because I feel like it takes the responsibility off of the teacher to problem solve and then places blame onto the student. Consider this. You don't know what you don't know. So if there's something happening in your class or in your home and you are having a hard time problem solving, do a little research, attend some workshops, talk to other professionals in the field. If you're not taking data, start taking data, because that's going to tell you what's happening and why it's happening. But to say I've done everything I've been taught, I really feel like there's more to our field than what you've been taught. And maybe you need to consider looking elsewhere or at other resources for things that you have not been taught, because there's always an answer. Also just wondering, what are some phrases you guys hear often that you find to be untrue, or if there's any phrases that you'd like addressed.